Hello, it is Anthony. Uh, I have nothing prepared for you today. There's nothing special I'm about to say, but we'll roll with it. See where I go tonight. I don't know where I'll start. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. So I've been thinking recently about, how do you find a good woman? And you know, I've been thinking about, obviously, if I want to pursue that right now, or if I feel like I'm not ready, or all that jazz. But a big part of it is, how do you find the right one? How do you find a good girl for you? Because even if you think you're not ready, like, if you found the right person, then you'd probably be ready for them, or at least make yourself get ready. Come on, you're so cute. My shoulder is fucking with me. You know, I keep doing push days and working chest and shoulder, even though I know my shoulder here is a little fucked up. And every time I keep doing fucking push days, like, thinking that it won't make it any worse and then I'll be fine. It always just makes it a little bit worse for the next couple days. And oh, you're so cute, Fabio. Like, I don't know, I gotta do something differently, I think, because I'm just fucking with myself. Like, yeah, I'm getting a little stronger and a little bigger, but I'm also hurting my shoulder like every time I do it, especially when I'm doing, like, I did dips today with, like, deep range of motion, and, like, I know that I don't know. I did dumbbell bench press. I got 80 in each hand for 12 reps for a few sets. So, like, that's not bad. I've done better before in the past, but for where I'm at now, and, like, just trying to get back into the rhythm of it, like, that's not bad. Even though I do weigh like 20 pounds more than I ever did before when I was that strong, and lifting more than that. So, like, it's weird. I'm not as strong as I used to be, but I weigh more than I used to be. Like, ugh, so be it. But yeah, wow, what was I talking about? Finding a good woman. The whole point is to find is to like know that you are looking for your future wife, the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with and make babies with and, you know, build a home together. Not like literally, but like, you know, create your home, live. Like, I think you have to, if you have that in your mind from the get go, then these small little interactions with random women, if you're like trying to get a girl's number or just like flirt with somebody or like anything that is on a lower level, like it doesn't matter. You can take risks because at that stage in the game, like you're not invested at all. It doesn't matter. And you know in your head that everything you're doing, you're trying to set yourself up for the final move, which is getting a wife. Like, I was talking to Gary tonight, and we talked a little bit about this. I was saying that, for a lot of guys in Western society, our part of the world, like it's like the final move in their head is to get sex, to bang. That's what they want from the girl. That's what they're trying to set themselves up for in the final move. If we're like thinking chess or whatever. How like, the first move you make, you're already trying to set yourself up for the last move you want to make, which is the checkmate. If you're good at chess, you would do that. And if you're good at finding a partner in life, then the first move you make, which would be like approaching or saying hello and talking to somebody that you don't know, that first move you want to set you up for the final move in some way, which is finding a wife or, for girls, finding a husband. But like I'm talking for guys right now because I have I kind of have the thought that girls looking for a husband need to take a different route than guys looking for a wife. Like I think those are two very different things. And I can only really speak from a guy's perspective. So, you know, it's like have that in your mind. Just understand that that first move that you make with anybody doesn't matter. It really doesn't. So take risk. Be bold. For real. Do something that isn't ordinary, that sets you apart from other people. And hey, if the person doesn't like you immediately because of that, that's okay because you have no investment in that game. You can move on and try and make a move with another person because you know that the final move is finding the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with. So, or like, not, yeah, the final move is finding a wife. So, the first move you make with any girl, it doesn't have that much weight to it. It really doesn't. It doesn't, it doesn't. Like, it has a lot of weight because that first move can really determine everything. You know, whether the girl is going to have any interest in you and whether you're going to have any interest in the girl really largely depends on that first move. But only if you play it right, only if you are bold and take risk. And if you got to be confident. Confident in knowing that it doesn't matter. And then you can, if you're confident that it doesn't matter, you have a better chance of creating something that does matter from it. Makes sense to me. If it doesn't make sense to you, sorry, I guess. But it's also, I read an article today from Beartaria Times magazine that I bought. It was a really good article. It was. It was titled Bear Fruit as a Man, and it's all about tips for single men seeking wives. And like this guy's story of how he found his wife. But I'm just going to go through the 10 tips that he gives at the end. And like he goes into detail into each one, but I'll just read the headlines. So, 10 tips for single men seeking wives. Focus on God first and foremost. So that is a big one. I'm talking about how have in your mind that you're looking for a wife. But it's also important to be to be aware that before a wife comes God. And like he talks about this, how, don't worship your girlfriend. Don't idolize her. Don't make her into something she's not. Like the woman is supposed to follow you, the man, not the other way around. And if it is the other way around where you idolize her and look up to her and uh, want her to make the decisions, then it's not going to go well. The relationship is not going to go well. The woman is not going to look up to you, is not going to be able to follow you. You're not going to be able to lead. It's just backwards from the get-go, and that's not good. So the way to fix that is for the man to appeal to God as the ultimate authority, and then the woman will see that and appeal to her man as her authority because she knows that the man is appealing to God. Like, if you want to talk about a trinity, then that's probably one of the best ones you can find. God, man, and woman. One of the most perfect trinities there can be. God at the top, man and woman. None of this fucking Father, Son, and Holy Spirit bullshit. No. No. God, man, and woman. Because if you just have man and woman, you know, like, what does the man, like, look up to? He can't look up to himself. That doesn't work. And he sure as hell can't look up to the woman. That's backwards. That won't ever work either. He has to appeal to authority that is greater than himself, which is God. So that's the Trinity right there. God, man, and woman. The Trinity that brings together people to make babies. Because God is present between any two people. God is always present, but it's like, you know, the act of, you know, let alone two people, but the act of coming together to create a baby is one of the greatest fucking miracles in the world. And if you say God is not present in that interaction, then I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know what you think creation is. And I don't know what you would consider making a baby to be, because I consider it a miracle. I consider it one of the greatest, most beautiful fucking things, if not the most beautiful thing we can do in this life. And it's us doing it, yes, but it's something more than that. It is. It's not just a man and a woman. It is and it isn't. Like I would I have a hard time thinking that that's all it is a man and a woman coming together, dick and vagina, sperm and egg, and it all just comes together and the egg fertilizes and the baby starts growing. Like, yeah, that is how our bodies work. That is what humans do. But I have a hard time accepting that that's just all there is, and that there isn't something greater at work there. Like that that this is like God has to be present in that interaction for it to work. I don't know. Like I said, I find this hard. I do. I do. So focus on God first and foremost. 2. Cut vices and cultivate virtues. Simple enough. Kind of, sort of. Easier said than done, for sure. 3. Learn about female psychology and intersexual dynamics. 4. Find men who have the life you want and a wife like the one you want and seek their mentorship. 5. Consistent courage creates confidence. Embrace rejection therapy. 6. Maintain frame from the beginning to the end. Meaning that the frame is like, the frame is like the one who leads, whose frame or perspective and worldview is the one that's at the forefront and taking the lead, which would be the man. 7. Hire slow, fire fast. I don't even know. 8. Think court, not date. 9. Take inventory of your terrain. And 10. Develop a seed sowing strategy. So the last one is like, develop a seed sowing strategy, meaning, like I'm saying, there's lots of girls out there and you can make your first move with lots of them. But after that first move, after you start, making your way through the weeds and finding girls that, you're interested in them and they're interested in you based off that first move, you have to decide on how much time you're going to invest in each of your seeds, per se. Like, how much time do you want to spend playing the game with that one person versus the other people you can be playing the game with? I'm only saying game as like a metaphor or whatever. It's not a game. You know that you are looking for a wife as the final move, though. That's the goal. But, it's probably wise to, look for that in multiple women at the same time. As long as you're not disrespecting them, not degrading them by having sex with everybody and cheating on them, you know, that's the thing. Like, if you're looking for a wife that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, you do not need to be hooking up with girls. You do not need to date a girl for a couple years, live together, have a lot of sex, and then maybe not get engaged and get married, and then start a life together, start making babies, start getting a home. Like, no, what you need to do after that first move and in the moves that lead up to the final move is, work on figuring out if this is the person you want to be your wife. And sex does not have a big role to play in that decision. It doesn't. So that's why I think it's totally okay to like have investment in multiple women at the same time, like this thing is saying. Like, how did it say it? I forget. Develop a seed sowing strategy. So it's either you sow a lot of seeds and you have to tend to them all, which means you don't have as much time to spend on each one, or you just sow a few seeds and then you have more time to spend on each one, you know, trying to figure out who you want to make more moves with and maybe take to the final move. And then there's, of course, the route where you only have one seed and you nurture it very diligently and you have your eyes set on only that one seed and you spend all your time working on it, trying to grow that seed, help it sprout, do everything you can for that. And then, that might lead to the final move. That's a completely viable thing too. It's good. It's totally good to just have that one seed and do everything you can to see if that will grow into something, worthwhile. It might be, it's probably easier that way to see if it'll grow into something worthwhile. But also, like, if you're looking for a wife, if you know that's the final move, then, like, the guy said something in there where, like, the women will be interested in you more if they know you have other options, which you do. You always have other options. So that's why if you tend to multiple seeds and give your time to each one, trying to see which one, like, grows more, grows faster, then, you know, you don't have to lie to the other girls. I didn't want to call them seeds. You don't have to lie to them. You can tell them that you are taking interest in multiple women at the same time. You're not having sex with any of them. You're not trying to degrade them. You're just trying to see who fits best for you in the end and who you want to make the final move with. And eventually it will always come down to that one seed. Whichever one grew the most, you will let the other ones die out and eventually you will give all your focus onto that one sapling, however far it's grown. Because in the end it's gonna be you and her. That will be your wife if you choose it. And then literally none of the other women will matter. Like it's funny how that happens. Like at the start, when you're single and you're trying to meet women and start growing relationships or whatever, like it's like none of them really matter. You have no risk in the game. There's nothing for you to worry about. And then at the end of the game, when you've made your final move and you have a wife, like it's the same thing. None of the other women matter. You have no risk anymore. There's nothing more to worry about. Like you've won the game. So That's that for tonight. Don't be a bitch.